This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we have a fast fix to get your oven heating again. This is a classic gas oven and we're asking it to go to heat. We're checking the temperature for 350. When we press start, we can hear a click. When we press bake, we can hear a click. That's the relay. That's important. That means that the electronics, everything's working, but the igniter's just worn out. It's very common. So if your oven is not heating, this is most likely the culprit. Pretty easy to replace it. We're going to take off the oven door by pushing down these latches, and then we're going to basically lift up the door to close it, and that's going to make the little forks on the oven door come loose from the oven. You don't have to take off the door, but it is better if you can because it gives you more room to work. We're going to slide out these racks. They just come right out. And there's two standard head screws here in the back that we have to remove. They're really long screws, but once you loosen them, you can just do it by hand. They come out pretty fast. They're holding in the back of this panel, this bottom panel, and underneath the panel there's a heat diffuser, and then underneath that is the igniter. So we're almost there. It's pretty fast. I do this repair so many times each week, and it's such a common thing, and it's one of my favorite ones because it's so fast, so easy, and it gets the oven working right away. I carry a lot of these igniters in my car, so I'm ready to fix an oven at any time. So again, this is only going to work for a gas oven that isn't heating. And then we're going to lift up on this panel and pull it out from underneath the lip in the front, get it off to the side. Use a pair of pliers to loosen this one little nut, and this is holding down the heat diffuser. So this is common to a lot of different gas ovens, the Whirlpools, the Maytags, the KitchenAid. Many different brands have the same arrangement. And here's our Venturi, our burner tube with the igniter here at the back. I'm going to use a quarter inch socket to loosen up these two bolts that are holding it in. They're just small little bolts. And sometimes these bolts are a little bit hard to get out because they get corroded. So just take your time. You can put a little oil on the threads, also helps. I'm going to cut out this igniter and make sure you got it unplugged. Cut these wires to take out the old igniter. Here's the new one. I'm going to give you a link here where you can order it too. This is pretty inexpensive. They're usually under 20 bucks. You can get them online. Amazon will send you one. Here's what the Amazon link looks like. It comes with these little ceramic wire nuts, which are really cool. They make it very easy to splice the wires into the existing power wires coming from the oven. When you hook up the wires, you can hook any of the igniter wire to either one of the oven wires. There's no polarity issue, so don't worry about that. Just put on that. After you strip back the wire about maybe a quarter inch, then put on the ceramic wire nut. Just join the wires together, and then we're going to go righty-tighty with this wire nut. Get it on pretty tight so it has a nice connection, and that's going to bring power to the new igniter. I'm going to screw it on nice and tight. I'm going to put the bolt back in that holds it on, and I'm just going to put that on by hand, and then I'll tighten it up. I think the only problem I usually have with this type of repair is that sometimes those bolts do get stripped or corroded. They're a little hard to work with. But it does help if you put oil on the threads first before you remove it. Makes it a lot faster. So we got those on, we got the power, we got it plugged in, we're going to press bake, 350, press bake again, we hear it click, sending power to the igniter, and we see the igniter starting to glow. It's getting hotter and hotter, and then the flame starts. So if your flame starts late, or you get a little mini explosion, or it doesn't start at all, that's due to a weak igniter. Changing that igniter will do the trick. Usually need to change these about every 4 or 5 years. Here's the old one. Looks fine, but wasn't producing enough heat. Putting the heat deflector back on, the diffuser, it spreads the heat of the oven out. Tightening up that one little nut, and we're going to put the bottom panel in at an angle to the front lip and set down the back area. And we're going to go ahead and put those screws back in by hand. Once we get them tight, then we can just turn a few turns with a standard head screwdriver. And it's not critical that these are tight, it's just doesn't really do much. Gravity can hold it down. We're going to put these forks back in, and we're going to set the oven door down 90 degrees, push the latches all the way shut, and we put the racks back in, just slide them in, and then we can close the door and check it for heat. I usually just set it for its lowest heat, which is about 170 degrees, and typically it'll get up there pretty fast after you do this repair. Usually within 5 to 10 minutes you'll hit that 170. And that got it going, that fixed it. I hope this works really well also for your gas oven. Pretty fun, simple, and fast repair. And I'll leave a link here in the description on how you can get the part. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance. Thank you.